too much. I'm sunny side up.
My Spotify is all over the fucking place.
There we go. Spotify is just hitting every category right now.
Dude, like I'll be listening to something hard as fuck, and then it's like Taylor Swift, Our Song will come on. I'll be like, all right.
So on my playlist right now, I have a million fucking videos for songs of like remakes of songs. Like I'll find you a hardcore remake, like in hardcore rock of everything.
See, but like that's especially when I was still DJing, I had to have like dubstep remixes. So like that Sexy Red remix that I just showed you, like that 100% would have been on my like set list.
So like I'll have like there's like 4 different Taylor Swift songs I got a bunch of Disney shit, I got a bunch of Ed Sheeran, I got so many like remakes,
like hardcore remixes.
Yeah. It'll just be them yelling at you, and I love it. Just want them to yell at me some more.
So angry. It's alright, dude. I listen to like Amir and the Acacia Strain. Like,
Acacia Strain. Oh, I miss that. Yeah, I miss hardcore music a lot, bro.
Yeah, dude. The Dead Walk.
Yeah, the Dead Walk. Comeback Kid, Madball.
See, like, it was always like deathcore though. Like metalcore, cool, whatever. But like belligerent ass, like. They don't play any notes. It's just all dun, dun, dun. You know what I mean? Like,
see, when I was in AZ, my buddy Joel got me into hardcore, like underground hardcore, which is not even necessarily screaming, just like
but like the 2-step stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
Like Terror.
Yeah.
Terror. Fuck. The horror. Fucking JFC, dude. Fucking JFC. Like, have you heard any of Amir's newer stuff?
I haven't heard any of Amir. I've seen them live before, way back in the day.
I've seen them bitches 3 times live, dude. Those dudes are my favorite band. AJ has the Amir E on his forearm, dude. Yeah, like, you don't fuck around. Amir Pig's Ear. Oh, like Oceano, too. Fucking
I've seen Oceano live. I'm pretty sure I saw Amir and Oceano with Almer.
Oh, dude, Oceano was in Jefferson. Yeah, I saw them out in Jefferson at that shitty little fucking venue. Fucking Frankie, dude. You ever seen a video of him getting electrocuted by a microphone? Hilarious.
What's up?
Oh, God. Yeah. Mind your business.
What up, everyone? Mind your business. Got about 5 minutes. Now we're going to talk about choices. How's the volume?
You have to tell us, otherwise it's entrapment.
Yeah. It's like you're a cop and you're not telling me.
Mm-hmm. Saw this thing on YouTube. It was like, school shooter gets caught red-handed.
hope.
No, yeah. Like, I don't know how else you're going to catch him, dude. Usually they're, like, doing the thing.
Normally that one don't slide.
So he gets caught red-handed. He's just, like, in the hallway with him, like, oh. You
Gloves.
got me. You got me.
That's awesome.
People are so stupid, dude.
We got about 4 minutes letting people join up before we start up tonight, guys. Trying to start right at 7 o'clock. Can everyone hear us all right? What's up, Mike? This is a podcast that I've been doing. This is our 6th episode that we got going on. It's called Regenerating Degenerations. We're here to help out with mental health and just have people talk to each other and people, communicate and try to make the world a better place just through people helping people and everybody loving everybody type stuff.
ELE.
ELE? All day?
Everybody love everybody. Yeah.
Got about 3 more minutes. Absolutely. Well, positive energy, but correct energy too. We want to make sure that, I appreciate that, It's about having your shit together, a lot of it, about making the right decisions to make yourself go in the right direction you want your life to go, and about having habits in place, about, setting expectations in life, and just us helping each other with experiences to make sure that we're learning from each other and not hurting each other.
We're all just trying to figure it out.
100%.
Yeah. We don't have it all together, dude.
My life's a disaster.
Right? Dumpster fire. Mine's actually going pretty good.
Right?
Yeah, mine's
it's just keeping me warm at this point. It's not taking over everything.
Yeah, did I tell you I got on the Dean's list, dude?
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, fucking at USD.
Yeah.
Not like University of Phoenix. That's USD.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I looked it up because I was like, what the fuck does that mean? They're like, you're in the top 1%. I'm like, I'm smarter than 99% of everyone.
You guys suck. I'm sorry, Dean. That's probably not the place. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool.
Oh, yeah, that art collection. Personally done by yours truly. All right, it's about 6:59. Let's get the mics going and get everything rocking for us.
You gotta say, I'm Tori, and then I'll say, I'm Max.
That's correct.
The fucking F.
So, for the platforms that we're on, I'm streaming on Instagram and Facebook right now. And then I will also post the Spotify podcast out there later on, and I'll put that on my Facebook wall as well if you want to listen to the entire thing, or if you have to leave, or if you want to reiterate it. And then...
Ooh, the coffee's fighting back.
Yeah. Good luck. We got 30 minutes.
It's like my 4th cup.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Regenerating Degenerations. I'm your host, Tori, with...
And I'm Max.
Hey. Tonight, we are here to talk about choices. We're going to kind of do the same thing we do every time. We're going to go over bullet points, and then we're going to hit each and every one of our bullet points with discussion in hopes that our discussion opens up discussion with everyone in the public, and then we can all come together and kind of work and have a general discussion about our lives to help each other out. The first bullet point I have on today's agenda is what you do today will have an impact on what tomorrow brings. Where you are now is probably a reflection of the decisions you made yesterday, just like your decisions today will be a reflection of in tomorrow's results. Your habits will show through the decisions you make. And I feel like that's really important, because I feel like a lot of people's habits is to make comfortable decisions, is to make decisions that are going to cause the least amount of turmoil in my life.
Yeah, the least amount of friction.
Yeah,
You know?
which is fine. But at the same time, you can't expect to produce or go further if you're comfortable the whole time, right?
Well, yeah, we kind of touched on that last week of just like if you're like, and it's okay if like that's all you want. You know what I mean?
Everyone's
like,
got different goals, different strokes, different flows.
Right, and sometimes people don't want to do the work because the reward isn't worth the risk. You know, like I started going back to school and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like, so I suggest that to like everybody, but like they're not me, you know.
Right.
So they're just like, no, I just don't think, I don't know what I would go for, you know. I don't want the loans and whatnot to pay back, and
a million decisions on why it's not the right decision, even though it'll
Right.
benefit you in the long run.
yeah,
And
dude.
that's what a lot of people base it off of, is what's happening right now. When you sacrifice now for the long term, right?
Mhm.
That's just what everyone needs to kind of get used to in their life too, because there's a lot of people that aren't comfortable right now, but live like they're comfortable right now.
Right.
You know?
Well, yeah, being uncomfortable has become the norm.
Right.
Right. Like,
Well, because
like
you
there's
get
nothing wrong with like living paycheck to paycheck while you're going through life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I understand it, but like also at some point, don't you want like better?
right to move to the
Yeah,
next
like-
step. Like you can get comfortable in what you thought was uncomfortable in your life, right?
Mhm.
Like you can take one step, like you're saying, like for instance, living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
I'm very guilty of it. I
Fuck
think
yeah,
everyone that's an adult trying to make it by is very guilty of it.
I still do it.
But for some reason, we get comfortable doing it, and we're not willing to sacrifice something because we know that the next paycheck's going to take care of it. We know how much money we're making. We know that life's okay. We know
Right.
that we're going to handle it, and it's almost like you're afraid to sacrifice the small, even though you know the result will be better.
Right.
And that
so
comes
the
with
short
everything.
term versus the long term. Like, granted, I'm not talking down on but
I still live
anybody
like this.
who,
Yeah.
I still live paycheck to paycheck, but like I am like doing something outside of that. Like my goal is to not have to worry. So like I'm gonna be uncomfortable for right now as I do school, as I start this new career and whatnot, and eventually my hope is that I won't have to do that. But yeah, don't get it twisted. I still live paycheck to paycheck. This isn't a dog on anyone. It's just
It's
talking
just
about
how it
wanting
works,
more.
though. Yeah. And you can't if you don't put yourself in a situation that actually brings uncomfortability. Most of the time, you're not learning anything either. Like a lot of people get put in hard scenarios, and you'll have like choice A, which is going to suck right now, and you got choice B, which is just going to suck a little less right now. And most of the people, no matter what the outcome is at the end of it, are going to choose choice B because they want the life to suck a little less right now, even if choice A has a better outcome.
What did I just freaking see the other day? It was like a test that you could do with like a young child, right? So like you can, dude,
Every night.
every fucking night there are. Sorry, beautiful by the way. But there's like this young kid, and it's like, do you want a fun size Snickers right now, or do you want a full size Snickers later? The child not understanding
Fun size
that,
right now.
yeah, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They don't understand the concept of like, if you wait, you can have a full size candy bar. They're gonna pick the immediate.
Right.
So you know what I mean. Like they want that instant gratification. Like I'm gonna eat the fuck
Yeah.
out of that fun size Snickers.
Well, and a lot of people don't understand how that correlates to everything you do in your life, whether it's with a customer at work, whether it's with an account, whether it's with whatever you're doing on that day. Like, I was just talking to my friend about this, actually. Most of the time when we're pushing something off, it's because we're pushing off inevitable drama that might be a little less at the end of the drama,
Right.
but at the same time it's inevitable, so why are you pushing it off? Like, a lot of us will
Right.
try to avoid the friction as long as we can but we know it's going to pop anyways.
Right.
So, like, why sit there and make the decision to let that live in your head rent-free when if you just focus on the problem
Yeah.
and handle the problem...
And again, I'm so guilty of this. Like,
Everyone is.
like
That's why we get it. Yeah.
Especially like owing money and whatnot. It's like for the longest time, I got into a car accident with no insurance when I was like 22. Bro, I'm 33, and I'm still paying that off. You know, I caused a 4-car pileup
That's a bad.
without insurance.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm.
Is there any nice cars?
No, thank God. I think the nicest one was the one I directly slammed into. The kicker, though, was the woman that I hit was pregnant, and I hit the shit out of her.
Wow.
Like, everything turned out okay. I did find out, like, everything was fine, but yeah, like, I'm still paying on that, and it's like, I just recently started paying on it again. They've sued me, like, 4 times, just because, like, I keep just being like, that doesn't exist. That's not a real thing. I'm not doing that. And until they kept suing me, and like one of the last times they were just like, if you don't start making payments, I don't care how much it is, if you don't start making payments, we are going to garnish the shit out of your wages.
Yep.
And it's like, that's all because I just kept putting it off. I could have been even doing like $50 every paycheck towards it, just as something, and I'd probably have more paid off. But I didn't, and now here I am.
And you're
11 years later, 11 years later, and I'm still dealing with it. And yeah.
Well, it just shows that a lot of us don't realize the small decisions we make today are really going to affect us tomorrow, no matter how we work it out. Mm-hmm. So, like, that actually leads right into the next thing for my bullet points. Is
segue.
Yeah. Choosing to put yourself in a situation that makes you uncomfortable is what brings you growth in life. You don't know who you are till you're uncomfortable. It's a huge factor. It's a huge thing for everyone. You'd have no idea what you're capable of until you get put in a situation where you got to show people what you're capable of, and you don't have a choice out of it. It's just how life works, and if the growth only comes by stepping outside the comfortability. There's not one time that people wake up, and we relate a lot of stuff to addiction, and this is a huge part of that. Like, if you can wake up and you can get high, if you can wake up and you can go do what you thought was necessary in your day, but it was just what you did every single day, you can't expect any day to be different. You can't expect any day to have a different outlook than the day before did. Mm-hmm. And so unless you get outside that comfort zone, and unless you get outside of your day-to-day routine and you create habits that create uncomfortability in your life, you will not see growth in your life.
Right. So, like, in addiction, there's, like, this cycle, right? You got this repetitive-ass cycle of, like, this stage of restless, irritable, discontent. You're restless, you're irritable, you're discontent. Something is wrong, which leads you to the obsession of, like, I want to, for some people, it's like, I want to fucking smoke meth. I want to get drunk. I want to do something. And then leads to use, which leads to regret. Yeah. Which leads to you having a stint of like a day or two, so and then it just this cycle continues until you do something to break out of that cycle. And usually that thing to break you out of it is something that is uncomfortable. Like for me, it was going to Florida for 2 months. You know what I mean?
I went to California and then I moved to Arizona immediately after that.
Mm-hmm. You got to just do 100%. Something that switches it up. If you don't like how your day-to-day is going, like, just, you gotta switch it up.
You have to do something about it, or else you're not going to have a different outlook.
Right.
Like, it's never going to change. And if all you do is get negative about your day-to-day and you don't actually start fighting for something in your day-to-day, then your day-to-day is probably just going to get more negative. Like, what you're putting into it is what you're getting out of it. Like, there's nothing in your life that is meant to be there other than the stuff that you're putting in there for your next day.
I have so many people that just like bitch. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. And like, they just keep talking about it, dude. And it's like, bro, do something about it. Like, I'm not your therapist. Like,
well, and here's the thing,
you can come to me with stuff, but also like, this is like the 5th or 6th conversation we've had about the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything about it?
Well, I don't mind the 5th or 6th conversation as long as you've tried 5 or 6 different things as we're going through this. Like, if you don't know how to fix the problem, then that's okay, but don't sit there and stay stagnant in your problems either.
Yeah, when you're not doing anything.
If you're showing me that you're trying to fix the issue, right, absolutely. Yeah. And then we gotta, if you can't figure it out the first 10 tries, you're okay.
Yeah.
But don't sit there and try the same thing every day.
No, it's
and convince yourself that you're trying so hard to do this.
Right. 10 times might not have worked, but like the 11th might.
And it
Like,
has
you
to be
just
different than the first 10 times,
right?
though, right?
Like the definition of insanity
Doing
is
the same thing.
over and over again, expecting different results. You're doing the same shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and your decisions today will show you're willing to grow or whether you're going to stay right where you're at. And it's so true. There's so much stuff that you put on your plate that you either put off, don't take care of, or you just take care of enough so your day-to-day looks the same. And if you want your day-to-day grow and you want tomorrow to look different than today, then you can't do the same things you did yesterday to make today look the way it did.
No.
It's just how life works. And you can't expect different results if you're doing the same shit.
Right. And some people are cool with that.
Right. If
Some
you're
people
at where
are
you
like,
want to be in life and
it's
you're comfortable.
Yeah, it's like work, come home, get stoned, drink or whatever, go to sleep, work on like some hobby or play video games, wake up, go to work. If like that's your cycle and you're like, and that's what you're good with.
More power to you, brother.
Right. Like if that's,
whatever
there's
you're
nothing wrong
happy
with
with, I'm happy for you.
Right.
There's no wrong
dude,
way
yes.
to life unless you're completely miserable in your life, because that means you're doing something wrong for yourself.
Right. Like I have mad respect for people who just like that is their life and they are happy. They are happier than shit, dude.
Well,
it's
and I'll
just
ask you this for
dude.
those people: and I do believe some of those people are very happy. But how many people do you know that live in a facade of happiness because they believe that what they're doing is what they're supposed to be doing, when in reality, you know, they should have higher expectations for themselves.
Right. And that, I don't know, that almost comes a little bit with like playing God. Just because it's like, yeah, I want them to do better.
Mm-hmm.
But like if they don't want to do better.
Yeah, but the thing is you know that like a drug addict's is not okay, and he should be doing better.
Right. Like,
so why can't we keep that same concept when we're normal people?
Yeah.
If I'm a true friend, I'm going to want you to live up to your full potential. I'm not here to play God. I'm here to make sure that, like, I'm checking you where you should be checked, and I'm getting checked where I should be checked.
Yeah, okay.
Like
that makes a little more sense.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't sit here and rely on the fact that I'm comfortable where I'm at, so I think I'm right where I should be.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I'm in sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're comfortable selling this amount, or if you want to do this much, then do you. There's a big range of comfortability in my world where people live at.
Right.
But there's a big range of people that aren't where they want to be.
Yeah.
And it drives you absolutely insane.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, so...
But it depends on what you're doing to try to get to where you want to go, too.
I was just going to say, it's like, well, I want to do this. It's like, okay, well, then what are you doing about that?
Right.
And then it's just like, well, then you come up with a million excuses on why not. And
yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I was a car salesman for a little bit. And I was that dude that... I was good.
On the line.
I was good, dude. Like, as long as I got my fucking 6 cars out, like, I was fine.
Oh, I would hate it if I sold only... I'm just kidding.
But that's the thing, is like, that was my
everyone has their standards.
Yeah, that was my
There's no wrong way to it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, and that's just like life. There's no wrong way to it as long as you're happy and getting out of life what you want out of life.
Mm.
But the thing is if I'm sitting there watching you destroy yourself, or watching you mentally struggle, or watching anything go wrong in your life, I feel like if we're good friends, I should at least be allowed to ask you about it. I'm not saying to throw it in your face. I'm not saying to be a dick to your friends about it. But I'm here to help my friends, and I'm here so that we can all be on the same level and be great to each other. So there shouldn't be anything wrong with me going up to a guy and making sure he's okay, making sure that, hey man, I've noticed you've been stressed about work for like 6 months. Are you looking for a new job? Like, if you say no, that's cool. Like, I'll go about my day. We can still be friends and stuff. Just know that I'm noticing. And sometimes just noticing what's going on in your friends' lives is going to help create a bridge between them. He might not talk to me about it the first time I do it, but if I do it appropriately, I guarantee if I keep trying to do it and I'm appropriate about it, and I'm not stepping on his toes, and I'm not making him feel like he's a piece of shit like he probably feels like he is already.
Cocking back. What's wrong with you, bro?
But if you're good friends, you should be able to have those conversations with each other to help each other grow.
Right. No, and I agree with that. I mean, I really don't have a whole lot to add on that subject, just because like I have like fucking 4 friends, and all of them are kind of on that same page. But I also think that has a little something to do with the fact that like I've also been like kind of cutting people out that weren't. You know what I mean? So it's like, with like addiction, you're watching people like kill themselves,
right?
And you want like I guess that's the point that I was trying to get at a little bit ago. Is just like you're watching them try to kill them. They're not doing it on purpose, but they're killing themselves, and it's like there does come a point where you have to be like I can't. You don't want help from me, like, or whatever help I'm trying to give is not the help that you want. Like, I can't.
Well, and like we're talking about sides of the street,
right.
How much of your stuff can I allow onto my street? And on the lighter note of that, with addiction or like even your job, like. I tell people all the time, like, if you're, especially like some new people, like, if you're looking for advice and I'm struggling right now, you should probably go talk to someone else for advice. Right. Because someone else is doing it better than me at this moment, and I'm not too proud to say that.
Right.
Like, I'm all right with realizing where I'm at any certain given time and recognizing where I'm messing up and being a complete ownership of myself as a person to try to, like, move forward from stuff.
Right.
And so if you came and asked me for advice and I was 6 months clean, I would not have probably given you any advice because I would be like, I am so fresh into this and I am so far up my own head about it already that I don't think I would be a good place for you to be from. Right. If you ask me about other things, like if you ask me like now, like I'll tell you exactly what I did, but I'll tell you that you need to find your own way, because if I tell you my way and you try to replicate it, you're going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, you might
not
not
be
like
yourself.
You might not get the same results.
100%.
I deal with that.
Everyone has their own path. Ceilings, doors, everyone's is different. Everyone's ceiling in every room does not match up with what yours are at. You know, like you can't expect that. Like, it's like, let's take us for instance.
Right.
You got it at 30 is when you got cleaned up.
Yeah.
Right. I went through my last day at inpatient rehab at 25. There's a million scenarios in between 25 and 30 for both of us that you probably handled that I didn't have to handle, that you still have a better ceiling on. And even though it sounds when you word it that way that I go clean early, it's not the case. Like, we all went through our struggles, we all went through our strides. And there's so much stuff that we can help each other out with, even if we were on different ends of a spectrum at a time.
Yeah,
right?
Well, because I found out you went to rehab. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and then you're like, where's
rehab?
Tori?
Yeah, where years? I haven't talked to that guy in like a couple years. Yeah, but like I was still in my fucking thing, and it's weird now. On the flip side of that, being the sober guy, and people are like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, those people that think it's weird are the people that aren't actually living the life.
Right. So like, I'm sitting here in my counseling job. It's like, I'll see you.
Someday, right?
Someday.
Yeah, at least for an hour that day.
Hit me up.
So, and it kind of, again, a lot of this will segue right into it. So the one last thing we got to talk about for hard bulletin points that we got tonight is hard decisions normally mean you shouldn't take the easy choice. A lot of the choices we make within hard decisions, we get to a point, and I mean like mentally hard, stressful, like you're at a breaking point. Normally you look for any route that's going to just get you out of there.
That immediate gratification.
Yeah. But how do you learn from that? And those are probably your biggest steps in life for you to learn. The most you're uncomfortable, that you'll remember it the most. You don't remember anything when you weren't in trouble at home.
Right.
You remember rules because you knew the repercussions of them. You remember what happened in your life that was a positive to your life, but the thing is you don't. You remember what the negative was, and you don't want that negative to happen again.
Well, right, yeah.
Is the biggest indicators for what people do.
Well, pain is a good teacher, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, like like I keep saying, sometimes life just sucks, you know, and what you have to do is like, why does it suck? Right. Step back, look at it, like, why does it suck? Is this something that is in my control? Is it something that's out of my control?
Yeah. If
it's something that's in your control, then try to do something about it.
Right. Am I making the decision to wake up every day and live a sucky life? Or am I making a decision to wake up and choose, well, maybe I'm going to try this today because yesterday worked out the same way it's always has, and I don't want it to work out that way.
Right. And on the flip side, is it something that is out of your control?
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, I have that money that I need to pay back. That is out of my control. What I can control is how I react to owing that money.
Well, and that's what a lot of people don't get nowadays because everyone's so emotionally focused. And I'm just fine with you being emotional, but you still have to be an adult about your emotions,
Right.
and you still have to handle your emotions correctly, and you still have to handle yourself like an adult and like a human being.
Right.
Because there's not one time while you're going through your emotional turmoil that I should be treated like I'm not a human being.
Right. Like it's.
Yeah.
I always say it's not that serious, dude. Chill.
Yeah.
Calm down.
I'm
It's
terrible
not
at
that
it
serious.
too. I'll be honest. Like I'm
Yeah.
preaching to myself right now. I have
Mhm.
like terrible like management when it comes to like how quick I'll get there.
Oh, so do I.
And how
I mean,
angry I get, and how I'll yell and stuff, and yeah, it's. But the thing is like I am well aware
You
of
take
it, and
stock
I will
of it, man.
apologize. Oh yeah,
Well, you take
it's so
stock
on
of
my
it,
conscience, and you got to know what you're doing when you're doing it. And
Right.
I've tried to be better at it, especially since I've started this, because I do want to be a good example for what I'm putting out there for people.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it just matters.
No, the emotional, like, and that's to say, I have emotional reactions to shit too,
Like,
but that's, we're human. Like, you're
Yeah.
gonna have, if something pisses you off, it's hard to just like
Yeah.
dial that in. You know what I mean? If you're upset about something, like, you have all these fucking emotions and anxiety going off that it's hard to like reel yourself back in and
Yeah.
like look at it in a rational light. I am guilty as shit of it, dude. I am guilty as shit. I make assumptions. I let my anxiety get the best of me, and my reaction generally hurts the situation more than if me just like chilling out and shutting up. Everything probably would have been fine, but because I'm like so in my head and so anxious and like freaking out about something that I shouldn't be freaking out about, I ruin. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Well, and another big part of that is from a societal standpoint, like my emotions do not matter to what's actually happening.
No.
So
It
like
doesn't.
just because I'm upset about it,
Right.
if I'm factually wrong or if I'm factually incorrect, then my emotions about that, in reality, I should feel like I need to correct my thinking because I need to be open and be willing to hear people.
Right.
But I should never let my emotions make you feel like you're wrong. What I'm saying can prove a point. What I'm saying can let you understand where I'm coming from.
Right. You don't want to talk down to people.
Yeah, but the fact that I'm mad doesn't make you wrong. In fact, if I'm trying to make that concept, I'm an idiot.
Right.
Like, you can't make it just out of the basis of, like, harmful this or harmful words or harmful whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. If no matter what you say to me, like, I can't sit here and act like because I'm emotionally damaged by it, you're wrong. It has to be the actual words you're saying that make me wrong.
Right.
Or the words that I'm not using correctly that make me wrong.
Right. Well, it's just
You know?
understanding, man. Some people have different ways of communicating. You know, like, I swear a lot. And that gets, like, especially text, dude. Like, a lot of my texts get misconstrued. Like, I'm, like, pissed off or something.
Yeah.
And, like, communication is just... It's hard. Like, especially when you are mad.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you don't want to be passive aggressive. You don't want to, you know, like you kind of said earlier, you know that this reaction that I'm feeling right now is not the appropriate action.
Right.
But then you also have that other side in your head that's just like, fuck it. Tell them to go fuck themselves.
Well, and it's right on the other side too. Like, you can't be like, I get it that you might not like want to approach people yelling at them, but if all you're saying is the fact that I got loud and that's why I'm wrong, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm wrong. If you're not listening, because it's the vice versa to what I just said. A lot of this stuff is all communication, right? And so if I'm sitting there and you have someone talking to you, and this is actually better for the listener to actually comprehend more than anything, because like I should be able to do it too, and I suck at it. But if I'm sitting there and someone's yelling at me, and all I say to them is you need to not fucking yell at me, I'm wrong. But if I take whatever they're saying and I reiterate it back and I have an understanding of the argument, it makes it a lot easier for them to stop fucking yelling.
Whoa, dude, it's just like, I'm
terrible at it.
I'm that way
I'll
too.
yell
It's just
back
like people
always.
get,
I'm terrible. Yeah.
people get fucking shouty at me, and I'm just like, not listening. Like, you can go right ahead and die. Like,
But there's no reason for any of the outcast on the conversation. There's no reason for my emotions to be the reason why I'm right. There's no reason for me to think that because I emotionally feel this way, society should treat me any different either.
Yep.
Like there's so much to be said with that today, and I do want everyone to understand where I come from on that, because I don't think that you get stronger by letting people, like, you let your emotions control you. That means you're probably a very weak-minded individual.
Well, emotionally,
Yeah.
person. Yeah, dude. Like,
Well,
you
even
can't
with
even just
mental,
stop for
right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
if people can't get past the fact that they're emotional about something and figure out how they can make themselves better about something,
right.
that is a weak individual. Like, if I'm
Mhm.
going to just sit here and coast on the fact that I'm upset about it, and I'm not going to put my work into it, and I'm going to try the same thing tomorrow that I tried today, and I'm going to keep making the decision to live my life the same way, and I'm going to get emotional about it, and I feel like I should be so much further than I am in life. I feel like I should have been 10 feet ahead of where I am. I feel like I should have done this. Okay, but what did you do different on your day-to-day to make sure you got there? And if you weren't doing something different while you weren't moving, then you weren't really trying to move, because you were doing the same thing that you already knew wasn't going to make you move.
Well, we were just talking about it
You
earlier.
know?
Like, I picture it like a road. You're just walking down this road, and when you don't do anything to fucking change, like, what you're doing, you just continuously are just walking this straight line of, like, okay. And it leads to the same, it leads to one place. As to where if you start making these little changes, the road all of a sudden starts to fork. And, like, a new path is created, and, like, a new outcome is created. If you stay stuck on that one path, like, that's the outcome you're going to get.
Right.
Period.
It's how it works. Like, you can't expect to, like, know anything but that path.
Yeah.
And to know only the comfortability of that path.
I know this road. I'm going to keep walking here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can't expect it to be different the next day you jump on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know it's going to be that path.
Yeah.
You've never taken a left or a right. You've never done anything to veer off of what
You've
you
never
need to
tried
go.
to go a different direction.
Yeah,
You're just like, I know this. I know where this goes. I
Mhm.
like this. I'm comfortable with this. I'm going to stay here.
Well, and it's like we said earlier, that's not necessarily wrong, but you can't be upset about where you're at if you don't change it up.
Right.
You
Don't-
got to where you are
don't
because
be
you made a
upset.
norm.
Yeah.
But you can't be mad at me if I made a difference for doing this or this or this with my day, A, B, C to D, and you decided to do the same things that we were doing yesterday, and all of a sudden my life changes and your life stays the same.
It's just like, I hate my life. I hate how
Yep.
things are going. It's like, did you do anything to try to change that?
Right.
Well, no. Oh, okay.
Then what did you
Like,
expect?
then what? Yeah. Then what? What are we talking about?
It's so true. Well, and so my exit bullet point for tonight is living with your decisions can be hard, but letting them lead you to regret can hurt you more than decisions hurt you. You'll never know the true outcome of what your decision is going to be. You'll only be able to guess at this, and you'll only be able to try to make the best decisions for your life. But if you happen to make the wrong decision, and you just happen to make a decision that hurts your life, you can dwell on it a little bit maybe, but do not let it ache at you and turn into a regretful thing, because then it will affect your future decisions negatively, and you will get put back into that cycle of, well, here I am. Here it goes. There it is. Oh, I'm back at the beginning. Like, it's just inevitable.
It's just a revolving door, dude. I think I've mentioned it before, but I like to look at it like, so in Taoism, they refer to a river all the time, like the stream of life, right? And when you get hung up on these fucking regrets, worries, whatever, you're like clinging onto the bank and you're letting all of this life flow by. You're stuck holding on to the side of that fucking riverbank, wanting it to be different. Let go, man. Just float down that river, dog.
Yeah.
There might be something better down there. You know,
the scariest thing you do in your life is change something that you're comfortable doing.
right?
It's the scariest thing that any of us do.
Oh, yeah.
I know what my day can be like tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I do it like this? Makes everyone a sissy or a pussy sometimes.
Right.
It is, and it's
Yeah.
but people have to get around that if they actually want their life to be different, though. People have to get around that to make a difference in their life. You know.
No, I agree with that.
Well, that's all we have for episode 6 of Regenerating Degenerations. I'm Tori again with my co-host
Max.
We'll see you guys again next week. All right. That is episode 6. Whoop, shaking the table. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I saw some people coming in and out the whole time, so that was really cool. I'd love people to reach out and share stories and want to be on, and I'd love to hear everyone's aspect of their life and figure out what everyone's got going on and try to help each other out with life. You know, it's all about opening doors and trying to get people better.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Inception, dude. No, I was trying to look at the
Watching the movie of ourselves.
No, that was then. This is now.
Yeah, Spaceballs.
Yeah. Alright, I would turn this down. I just wanted to see. It's Inception, dude. What does my hoodie say, Max? Oh, it says sin. I'm not real.
I'm not real. No. What's up, Rick? What up, Colin? Nice to see you, bro.
Oh, yeah. Chaos creates change. True. But, like, what kind of chaos? Like, you trying to get weird with it? And, like, just fucking...
How weird.
Like, I mean, yeah. True.
I appreciate the feedback, JC. It's about 7:32. We're going to probably hop off for the night. It's been great. I think we had a really good turnout tonight. I'll try to post it real quick for us by to the end of the night for the actual podcast itself, and then I'll get the video cut for tomorrow. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comment, concern, even just want to talk, even just want to, you know, use each other. It's all about everybody, love everybody, and us coming together as a unit to help each other out.
Suck my unit. Sorry.
Damn it.
That's it, folks.
See you guys.